Did I say this generation was weird? Did I like mention that? Did I like stable that? Well, I don't know if you heard this or not, but apparently the Xbox Series X could be overheating. And that it could be a big problem. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna read this and see what I think, and then blah 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 blah. Okay, overeating issue. Blah, blah, blah. And other hardware faults are nothing new to the Xbox line. The original Xbox had a fault that caused its power brick to catch fire. Does it literally catches on fire? What the frick? Yeah, I remember the Red Ring of Death. I remember people was. Wait, this could this be Red of the Ring Death 2? Oh no. Okay. Oh no. This is something deep. This is like really freaking deep right here, boys. Reports of Xbox Series X overheating come from several journalists with the pre-release console. A famous state that the console felt significant heat. Even fence heat when it's in standby mode. That is ridiculous. Oh boy. Why? Or it's easy to understand why the Xbox Series X is overheating so badly. When designing the console, Microsoft opted for an internal power supply. When the previous generation has had to be built into a brick in the power cable instead. The heat coming off of Series X is proof that the console is very good at venting all of this heat that has been generated by the power supply. As such, a hot console doesn't necessarily mean the Xbox Series X is faulty. It's simply working to quickly cool down the time machine, prevent internal damage. While this may not be a warning sign that something is wrong with the console, consumers might be aware that the Xbox Series X can be prone to overheating, and should keep the machine in a well-ventilated area where it is not touching anything that could potentially injure someone or start a fire. That's a freaking white as I seen it. So what do I think about this? I mean, I remember the Red Ring of Death, and I remember that being a big issue back in the day. I remember somebody was like, I didn't own one personally. Um, but someone had it, and he was like raging, like he threw like a fit. And saying like, "Oh, I can't play my games," and going, "No," like screaming and hollering at the top of his lungs, which is kind of ridiculous, but at the same time, kind of understandable. Like, this laptop, it does heat, like it does. It's a pretty good laptop, but it does heat up over time when I'm using it, especially when I'm playing a game. But I think it's cooling off air. I never had it just like boom set on fire or anything, because that kind of sounds like freaking ridiculous right there to me, in all honesty. But then I mentioned in the previous video that this generation is freaking weird. You know, freaking weird with these new consoles, pre-order issues. Like I went all over that in the last video, so go check that out. But like people need to stop complaining. That's all I can say. I know people out there every day is going to complain about something. But I don't know if this is a big issues because you know we haven't necessarily seen the console and we haven't really heard from many people since the consoles are not out. You know, but hearing this does kind of raise some red flags because this could be potentially Red Ring of Death number 2, which is not a very good. Which is not very good. You know, like if your machine is overheating and you want to play for like for hours, for example, and you just want to lay on your couch or something, and it just sits there and overheat or even catch a fire, yeah, there's something wrong with the console. Like I can't, I'm not gonna sit here and back Microsoft off that there is nothing wrong with it when there is clearly something wrong with it at that point in time. So it's a bit more suspicious than anything. Um, yeah, it's a bit suspicious. um, but what do y'all think about it though? There's no comments, just more news. I mean, but what do y'all think about it though? Because this generation is really weird to where it's at and where the world's at right now. It really is. And if this system does catches fire, like if it actually like literally catches fire, then there's really something wrong with the console. Like I'm not backing this up whatsoever. If that happens, then that happens. Like I am not like I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Not. But it's just like Microsoft and Sony needs to get their stuff together. Both of them. Like for real. I already went off in my last video. I'm not gonna go off in this one. Um, but like I'll have to agree that if you're playing a game, then you'll hear like the fan running. Like with a laptop, for example, you know, even if you have like the best graphics in the world for your laptop, you'll hear that fan running. Regardless. But I don't. It doesn't. I don't think it necessarily gets very high. I'm not entirely sure on that one. But I do hear the fan, and I usually have a another monitor hooked up and a mouse and a keyboard hooked up to it. So the laptop can just sit on a surface, and usually I have not seen this laptop just went and literally in flames. So I don't know. This could be a red ring of death too, but if it is, it could be a bad problem on Microsoft's side. A really bad problem. And when I say bad, I mean bad. So tell me what y'all think in the comments below, and I will see you guys and girls next time.